can we figure out, which bacteria to put into our gut, and how do we do that to change your brain status? So we know, like, for example, there's been a ton of studies that show that there's a correlation between your gut bacteria and how good you feel on a daily basis. And so that to me is so exciting, because it's like saying, basically, we have control over our mental state. Like when you're saying that you feel so down, and if somebody told you, hey, listen, 2 weeks of eating these foods and repopulating your gut, you're going to be better. You're going to feel better. And I think when I say that, that already gives us hope that, like, there's something out there. Now, of course, the drug companies are trying their hardest to take advantage of this, because they're like, oh, we can just give them this bacteria and put it in a pill and make it like $6,000, and then say it's like the magic happy pill or something, right? So it's an area of intense interest and research from everyone, because if we could figure out that gut-brain connection, oh my gosh, think about how life-changing it would be. But right now we kind of know enough about it that I feel like it's enough that we can take action on it. We know that if you're eating a diet full of certain foods that feed the gut bacteria, meaning prebiotics are foods that feed your gut bacteria, and then probiotics are foods that actually put in bacteria, and then a few other foods like polyphenols, which are another magic food for the bacteria. You can actually grow like an entire garden of good gut bacteria that's going to help you with your mood, with your cravings. And so I think that's the most exciting part of it.
Can you give me some examples? Because I think of probiotic type foods where there's lacto fermentable food like cabbage, I think of, and things like kimchi and sauerkraut. I don't know why I'm only thinking of cabbage and like the little yogurt probiotics, but what are prebiotics, and the other word you said was phenol something?
Polyphenols. Yeah. Okay, so prebiotics, if you think about it, is like food for those little seedlings that already exist in your gut. And that's actually the best. If you think about it, you and I can have very different microbiomes, but if you feed the seeds in your microbiome, the seedlings, you're going to be able to be happy, and so will I, even though they're different, right? So prebiotics is probably the most important. Prebiotics is food fertilizer for the seedlings that you already have. We all kind of have those good bacteria in there, unless you've been ravaged with antibiotics for many months or something. So prebiotic foods are things with the fiber in them. So if modern day farming is basically taking a wheat plant and taking away all the fiber and the bran and all of that stuff, and just leaving the refined starch part of it. So basically, you're not getting any of the fiber that you should have gotten to feed your good gut bacteria. And of course, like, people didn't realize how important these pieces of fiber are. So you can get them from vegetables, you can get them from fruit, you can get them from unrefined grains and nuts. So these are just real foods that have the fiber inside of them. It's not like a fiber pill per se. It's although psyllium husk, for example, is a great addition to the diet. So things that have fiber in them are really prebiotics. And there's some foods that are like major prebiotics. So something like jicama, for example, is like an amazing prebiotic. But something as simple as garlic and onions are amazing prebiotics. Okay. So learning kind of what foods, I would say in general, just eating more fiber in your diet. Basically, in America, we are starving our gut bacteria because we're not giving them even 20 grams of fiber, 90% of people. So we want to be giving them much more fiber through food. The second thing is probiotics. Probiotics sounds like it should be a pill, but it's really the way you want to think about it is anything that has live bacteria in it. So if you look at your yogurt, it could be a yogurt that has live bacteria. And if it does, it'll say that on the back. Same with probiotic cottage cheese, apple cider vinegar, like the unrefined one, the one with the mother, that is fermented. And so now you go to Whole Foods or these health food stores, there's also huge sections of, kimchi or fermented cabbage. We don't really need to do a lot of fermentation anymore because of refrigeration and pasteurization. So that's why it became kind of harder to get. So like pickles nowadays aren't really fermented because they learn how to pasteurize them and just put them in vinegar and put it away. So getting some fermented foods into your diet is literally the best way. They found in a study that it was even more important than anything in your diet is adding fermented food. And if you can get up to like 3 to 5 servings of fermented food, that created the most anti-inflammatory effect in the gut. It created the biggest change. And so for me, I just feel like it's worth it to get some, apple cider vinegar, add it to, your salad. Probiotic cottage cheese, have that instead of the regular cottage cheese.